Hi, I'm Dr. Jonathan Huber. I'm one of the partner surgeons at Toronto Hair Transplant Surgeons. In this video today, we're going to be talking about hair transplant pricing. Obviously, it's one of the more common questions that we get. And at the end of the day, it's one of the most important things that you need to know about your hair transplant so that you can make a decision about whether you want to move on to the hair transplant and with whom you're going to move on with. So keep watching. What we'll do is I'll hit you up with some quick numbers because I know that's what you're here for. And then we'll go through some of the details about how hair transplant pricing works. So right off the top, let me be perfectly honest with you. Your surgery at Toronto Hair Transplant Surgeons is not going to be the cheapest or least expensive hair transplant surgery that you can find out there. If you're looking for the cheapest hair transplant or bargains or something similar to what you'll find overseas, unfortunately, I don't think we're the right clinic for you. If on the other hand, you're looking for more than 40 years of hair transplant experience, if you're looking for a clinic that's dedicated solely to hair transplants, we don't do anything else other than hair transplants. If what you're looking for is a clinic where the surgeon still actually does your procedure, so not an assistant, not a technician. If you're looking for personalized care, one-on-one with your doctor, right from the beginning, from the consultation through to surgery, then follow up as well, then I think will be a good fit for you. So let's start with some quick facts about hair transplant pricing. Generally speaking, a hair transplant will cost you on the low end something like $4,000, and on the high end might run you something like $15,000 or even more. And the exact pricing is going to depend on the number of grafts required, the size of your restoration, and some other factors that are unique and individual to you, which we go through at the time of your consultation. At the time that this video is being posted, what I can tell you is that the average price of a hair transplant for the average kind of hair loss that we see in both men and women will run you somewhere between $10,000 and $11,000. And yes, I know you're gonna ask, we do have installment and payment plans with all kinds of flexibility to make it easy for you. So what goes into the pricing of your hair transplant? The first thing that we need to know is the type of surgery that you're gonna have. As you probably know, there's really two ways that we can harvest grafts for hair transplant surgery. There's the FUE method. That's the one where we harvest follicles one at a time. It doesn't leave that long linear scar at the back of your head. And there's the FUT or strip method. That's the one where we remove a strip of scalp from the back of your head and it does leave that thin hidden linear scar at the back of your head. Each of those surgeries requires different type of equipment, different type of preparation, different number of staff, and takes a different amount of time. And all those factors are going to be factored into the pricing of your transplant. The next factor that goes into the pricing is the number of grafts required for your hair transplant. That's less so the case with an FUT or a strip transplant, and more so the case with an FUE transplant. Obviously, harvesting more grafts takes more time, more effort, and more skill. And so harvesting more grafts is going to increase the price of your transplant. The third factor that's important to understand is the size of your restoration, or the size or area of your scalp that needs to be filled. Obviously, larger areas of restoration are going to require more grafts, more time, more equipment, and that's going to increase the cost of your surgery. What we strive to do when we work with you in our consultation is to really give you detailed information about what really needs to be restored with surgery, what we can potentially restore without surgery, such as with non-surgical medical treatments like minoxidil, finasteride, PRP, or laser therapy. And in some cases, we'll actually be really honest with you about what's not worth restoring at all. Sometimes patients don't have a great idea of what they need restored, and we'll work with you to determine what kind of surgery you really need, and based on that, we'll help you determine how much that will cost. Next on the list is the type of harvest that you're going to have in your surgery. At Toronto Hair Transplant Surgeons, we're skilled in a variety of surgical methods, including traditional FUT and strip methods, traditional FUE methods, but also partial no-shave and full no-shave techniques in patients who are suitable for those kinds of techniques. Now, those kinds of techniques are harder to find. they require more skill and more expertise. So those more specialized techniques, if you're a suitable candidate for them, are probably going to cost you a little more than some of the more traditional techniques. The source of your transplanted hair is also another factor that affects pricing. So for example, the most common source would be hair that's taken from the sides and back of your scalp, the traditional donor area. But in some cases, we can also harvest donor follicles and donor grafts from other areas, such as your beard or other parts of your body. Again, it's harder to find surgeons that are skilled in those kinds of techniques, and those techniques do require more time, different equipment, and more skill. So if that's going to be part of your hair transplant, then that's going to affect the pricing as well. And lastly, this is one I have no control over, but that's taxes. So our patients who come from outside of Ontario and even outside of Canada benefit from some potential tax savings relative to our patients who come from Ontario. So if you do live outside of Ontario, let our staff know when you're booking your hair transplant, and we'll let you know if you might benefit from some of those tax savings as well. Now, what do you get when you have a hair transplant at Toronto Hair Transplant Surgeons? What you get is a clinic that's been around for more than 20 years with surgeons that have combined more than 44 years of surgical expertise in hair transplants. It's all we do. It's all we know how to do, and we're really good at it. You get personalized consultations with your doctor, not a patient consultant. We work with you one-on-one so that we, your surgeon, can determine the unique factors that will contribute to a successful hair transplant in your case. And if you have a budget that you're working in, we can help you optimize that budget to get the result that you're looking for. You get a clinic where the surgeon does your actual surgery, not an assistant, not a technician. We are there on the day of your surgery. We are the ones doing your surgery. And lastly, what you get is comprehensive all-in pricing. So we don't charge you any extras or hidden fees. There are no extra charges for follow-ups. There's no extra charges if you need to have stitches taken out. There's no extra cost for us to follow up with you and answer questions. There's no extra charges for various levels of pain control. We use the latest equipment, the latest techniques, and several layers of pain control, and all of that is included in the pricing of your hair transplant. If you want to talk with me or one of our other doctors about your hair restoration, about your hair loss, about how much a hair transplant will cost for you, taking into account your unique factors and your unique goals, then visit our website, torontohairtransplant.com. I think there's probably a link down below, so click that now and you can schedule a consultation, and we'll be happy to go through all of that with you.